The green meadows and pine forests of the Pahalgam Valley make the start of the yatra look incredibly inviting. But an hour past the Chandanwari base camp, the terrain shifts into a grueling sequence of steep inclines and loose rocks. Most first-time pilgrims start the trek assuming they can simply walk at whatever pace feels comfortable. Movement on this trail is governed by strict military-enforced closure times at every major checkpoint. Completing the journey depends on managing your physical energy and your budget against a ticking clock. This map tracks the 32-kilometer trek from Chandanwari to the Holy Cave. You start at 9,500 feet and push over 14,000 feet into thin air. The military controls the flow through 3 primary choke points: Sheshnag, Pashpatri, and the cave. Knowing the terrain is only half the battle. You also have to know the specific set-off times for each of these gates.
The climb begins immediately at Chandanwari, with a 3-kilometer continuous uphill stretch to Pisutop. Since it's so early in the trip, travelers often walk this section to save money on transport. At 11,000 feet, dragging yourself up this rocky incline quickly drains your oxygen reserves, putting a sudden strain on your body at the start. Exhaustion is so common here that the government positions emergency oxygen stations specifically for this part of the trail. If you burn your maximum energy on the first 3 kilometers, it becomes difficult to maintain the pace required to beat the afternoon deadlines. After Pisutop, the path flattens out through Zojabal and Nagarkoti, allowing you to move much faster. You arrive at Sheshnag Base Camp facing a 2 p.m. security gate closure. If you arrive at this gate after 2 p.m., security forces will stop you and forbid any further forward movement. You'll be forced to spend the night right here at the lakeside camp. Missing this single gate adds a mandatory day to your itinerary, which can disrupt your planned darshan window. Past Sheshnag, you face Mahaguna's top. At over 14,000 feet, this is the highest point on the route and is often covered in deep mud and snow. This chart compares physical effort against transport cost. Hiring a pony for 500 to 750 rupees is an efficient budget use. It bypasses extreme lung strain and saves joints for descents. Spending a small part of your budget here is a high-impact decision that helps you reach the final base camps intact. After Mahaguna's top, the trail descends toward your overnight options. You can stop at Pashpatri, which features massive free langar kitchens. Staying here can save you around 800 rupees in tent fees. Alternatively, at Panchtarni Base Camp, you pay for a tent, but gain medical infrastructure and are 5 kilometers closer to the cave. Your choice depends on whether you want to prioritize financial savings at Pashpatri or a shorter walking distance for tomorrow's darshan from Panchtarni. This matrix breaks down the trek into 2 distinct strategies: the endurance route and the pragmatic route. The endurance route involves a 4 a.m. start, pushing past the Sheshnag gate before 2 p.m., and sleeping at Panchtarni to finish the trek as quickly as possible. The pragmatic route allows for a slower pace, includes a planned overnight stay at Sheshnag, and uses pony transport over Mahaguna's top to reduce the risk of altitude sickness. Difficulties usually arise when a traveler tries to force the fast endurance timeline instead of following the pragmatic strategy. From your final camp, it's a 5-kilometer push to the Holy Cave for your darshan. The government enforces a strict rule: no overnight stays are permitted near the cave due to the risk of landslides. Once you finish, you are required to immediately hike back down the mountain toward Baltal that same day. The journey doesn't end at the cave entrance. Success requires rationing enough energy and budget to safely evacuate the mountain before nightfall.